Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is officially May. Thank God, spring is here. And May, if you don't know, is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I thought in this video today I would go over some of the things that are helping my mental health personally during this insane pandemic, crazy time, whatever you want to call it. Please know I'm not a mental health professional, but I just thought I might be able to share some helpful tips that have, again, helped me out, and maybe they can help you too. Last month, I definitely had my good days and my bad days, mental health wise, so I definitely had a few days where I just kind of had to like take a break. And I had my days where I felt like I could do everything and 1,000 things and everything was great. But there still was like a pandemic happening outside, so that was a little tricky to navigate. I was feeling a little overwhelmed with work and just with life, being isolated, you know, that's not easy. So what I did to help myself with work is I was kind of getting stressed out by like the whole week, and I would break that down into like a day. So I'd only focus on Monday, and then once Monday was done, focus on Tuesday. Once Tuesday's done, focus on Tuesday. And if that was stressing me out, then I just break it down to the tasks that I had to do for work in that day. So focusing on one task at a time, then moving on to the next one. That really helps me because I can kind of focus all my attention on that one thing. And then when I'm done with that, move that to the side and focus on the next thing. Because what I was finding is I was feeling like things were just stacking up and I was not able to get to them, and it was really overwhelming. So by breaking things down like that, it totally helped change my like way of thinking about work and stuff like that. And I feel like at the end of April, I was like feeling really good about work, feeling really on top of things, just by breaking things down. So that definitely has helped me with work and isolation. Some of the things that I found really helped me were, one, to have something to look forward to. So I really love cooking dinner. So every night I kind of look forward to doing that. It's kind of something special for me to do, kind of whip something delicious up. I think it's delicious, but I live alone, so no one can tell me that it's bad. But so having something to look forward to is really important. I also have found that reading a book is really helping me. So kind of focusing on something outside of work, because I think it can be really easy to focus on work, and then when it's done, you're kind of like, I don't know what to do. So focusing on reading a book, watching a show, and I'm not talking about like binge watching a show, but like one of the shows I love to watch, a little embarrassingly enough, is Real Housewives of like New York or Beverly Hills or something. So every Wednesday when Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is on, I get super excited and I'm like, yes, it's Wednesday, Real Housewives is on, this is great. So giving yourself little things like that to look forward to that kind of make the week go by, I find really helps. Going back to reading a book, I really have found that focusing your attention on like a book is really helpful, and not watching the news or something like that. Just kind of giving yourself something different to do. Maybe you'll learn something by reading. I was reading a lot of murder mystery books, which I love, but then I found that they were like a little too much, so I have kind of moved my focus towards a Rob Sheffield book, which I'm reading right now. And luckily the weather is just getting nice enough that I could read outside, which is like one of my favorite things to do right now. There's like a little patch of lawn in front of my building that I have a little folding chair that I like to sit in. It's like a beach chair, it's super nice. I can link it on Amazon if you want. Now that the weather's getting nice, I find that going outside and getting fresh air is like so helpful. I had a couple of days in April where I like didn't leave my apartment at all, not even to like go outside. I mean, I would go get my mail, but that's like inside still, so like no fresh air. And at the end of those few days, I was like, I feel so down, I feel so like blah. And I was like, I should probably like go outside and breathe different air than my like recirculated air in here. So I found just by doing that, like getting fresh air in my lungs, I felt super good going on like a short walk around the block or going for a super long walk. Yesterday I went for like an hour and some change walk, which just felt so good. It felt really good to get some cardio in and get like my whole body moving instead of working out at home. Another thing that I've been doing, and this is just kind of something smaller, is reorganizing my house, decluttering. I've been going through my closet a lot and like getting rid of stuff that I haven't worn in a long time. It's on my list today to go through my bathroom and my pots and pans, because I feel like I have a lot of pots and pans that I'm not using. So just decluttering your house, kind of making it feel fresh and new again. And I think that's so important in isolation when you're spending all of your time at home, to just like reset it almost. Maybe you can move your furniture around or just like set something different up, just to like give it a little change, because you are now looking at like the same thing all the time, every day and night. It's not like you can leave and go to work. So I would say organizing your house, decluttering, that's another really important thing to help your mental health. Also focusing on home projects. Maybe you haven't had time to do something because you were busy with work or just life before, and now that we have a little bit of time, you can kind of like focus on, I don't know, fixing something in your house. I rent, so I can't fix anything, but I have really wanted to try to open these windows, which are huge. You can kind of see them behind me. But they're all like painted shut, I think, so it is on my list this month to figure out how to get these open on my own. Fingers crossed, I really hope I can do it. So home projects is another really great thing to focus on and to kind of help your mental health, and that also kind of goes with looking forward to doing something. Also, repotting plants. At the beginning of April, repotted a bunch of my plants, which felt so good, almost kind of like reorganizing my house, just like a new look, bigger plants. I'm sure my plants also loved it. Like kind of like revamping the vibe of your home. Something else that I bought recently that I never really thought I would buy is a weighted blanket. This weighs 12 pounds. I almost didn't buy it, but I thought like during isolation, when you're not around people, this like kind of feels like getting a hug from someone, or just like, it feels like someone's body weight. So it's just really nice to have, to just like feel like you're not actually alone, like literally physically. But I just find it helps. It really helps with anxiety if you're feeling overwhelmed. Just, you know, it just helps. I got this from Target. I think it was like $25. I'll link it below if I can find it. And I highly suggest it. I know they have, this is like the lighter one because I didn't want to spend a ton of money on it, but I know they have like 12, this one's 12, 15, 18 pounds, and I think 20 and 25. Not positive on that, but I just was at Target getting a prescription and I saw this and I was like, ooh, I should buy that. So this has helped a lot with my mental health during isolation. My last and probably, I think, most important thing is jumping on Zoom calls or FaceTiming with other people. I know some of my friends like don't live super close, so I will try and FaceTime them a couple times a week and just say like, oh, what's going on? How's it going? And a lot of times we just end up laughing and saying weird stuff, as most friendships do, I think. But that has been so important. Another thing is Zoom calls. So there are weekly Zoom calls that me and Maddie Spiceball do. They are always on my story or his story. I know he has a couple of other weekly Zoom calls where just a bunch of diabetics come and hang out. And honestly, a lot of times we don't talk about diabetes, which is really cool. So we just all kind of vibe and hang out as just like normal humans, not type 1 diabetics. Those calls are super fun. They honestly end up going really late. There was one we had on Friday that started at 7 and I only got off at like 2:30 in the morning. So they go super late. They're really fun. If you are nervous to go on them, you can totally go on and turn your microphone and your camera off and just listen. You don't even have to show yourself. Or you can come on, show yourself, and not talk the whole time. It's really totally up to you. Anyone can come. It's not like special invite. If you see it on someone's stories, just screen grab it. They usually have the Zoom ID on them. And yeah, I highly suggest coming to those. Those have helped me so much. That's another thing that I like look forward to, is like every Tuesday and Friday and Saturday, like going to a little Zoom meetup call, hanging out with like all my friends who I've never met in real life, but I feel like I know them. Again, giving you something to look forward to, hanging out with your friends who've never met in real life, one of those lovely like internet age things. That is another huge tip. That's it for today's video. I know this was kind of short, but I just wanted to keep it super simple and things that have been helping me and my mental health during isolation and just this kind of really overwhelming time. I think it's totally okay to feel overwhelmed. It's totally okay to be stressed out. This isn't an easy time. None of this is a walk in the park, but just know that like we're all here for you. Again, I'm not a mental health professional. These are just some of the tips and tricks that I've been using to help me. Another really good account to follow that talks about mental health a lot is the Sweet Librarian. She's one of my really good friends. She talks about mental health all the time, which I think is so important, and I think I really should like start talking about it more on my Instagram page. I just think it's so important to have like an open conversation about it, especially during this time of craziness and like pandemic madness. So yeah. All right, we are ending this video vlog style because I thought when I was sitting down on my couch earlier filming that I filmed this clip, but somehow it got deleted. So just the ending clip. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram if you don't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. I guess I'm on a regulated schedule now where I upload every Friday. So I will see you guys next Friday. Bye.